Hey, Chandler Bolt here, CEO and founder of Self-Publishing School, and in this video, I'm going to talk to you about the best book writing software. So I've got 12 of them that I think are the best, and I'm going to go in detail on which one's best for you. So when you're first getting started writing your book, it's important that you pick the best book writing software that's going to help you finish your rough draft as fast and as easy as possible. Now, there's a lot of tools out there that you can use. We've kind of studied all of them, and my goal is to condense those into the 12 best tools so that you can pick the one that's best for you. Now, if you want the abbreviated version, I definitely recommend clicking along with this video. We've got a book writing software quiz. So you just answer a few questions, and in a couple minutes we'll spit out the answer about what's the best tool for you. So click that, check that out, and I'm gonna go into each one in this video. So the first option is tried and true Microsoft Word. Now this is actually what I used to write and publish my very first book. And chances are, whether you use a Mac or a PC, you already have it on your computer. Now this is kind of a good tried and true tool. There's some pros and some cons. The pros are that it's very easy to use, it's simple, there's built-in editors, you can have comment features, things like that. The cons are obviously it's not online. So one of the big things that I ran into is that when I was first doing my book is you gotta have different drafts, and so you send it to your editor and then you can't edit it and then they send it back and things like that. But sometimes you can just keep it simple, use Microsoft Word, and now if it's not on your computer, this is a paid tool. So I'm gonna give you a few paid tools, and then I'm gonna give you some examples of free book writing software, so other options that are free. But this is one of the paid tools if you don't already have it on your computer. So depending on whether it's a PC, Mac, this costs about 80 bucks. Now option number 2 is Scrivener. Now Scrivener is a wildly popular tool, especially for folks who write novels. So this is another paid tool. It costs about 40 to 50 bucks, depending on whether you're able to get a discount or things like that. And this is especially popular amongst people who write novels. So this, this is kind of a love it or hate it tool. Some people love it, some people hate it. There's definitely a learning curve, and there's also separate, training programs to even learn how to use Scrivener. So it is a little bit of a learning curve, but long term, if you're writing a ton of books, a lot of people like Scrivener because there's a lot of outline functions. You can organize plots, characters. There's just kind of some cool features that you can use, especially in the early phases. So in the mind map and the outline phase. So option number 3 is Pages. Now, if you use a Mac, this is kind of Apple's version of Microsoft Word, which maybe you already use that, so you're familiar with that, and that'll be a whole lot easier than switching over to Microsoft Word. Again, we're trying to optimize towards what are the things that you already use and what are the things that are going to be easiest to get words on the page. So this is another paid tool. Depending on whether you have it or not, it can cost as much as 28 bucks or maybe a little bit more, again, depending on the discounts and things that you get it. But this is a paid tool, and that's Pages. Now, option number 4, and this is the last of the paid options, is the Freedom software. So this is a little bit more of a productivity software than it is a specific word processor, but Freedom is a really cool tool. It's a couple bucks a month, and it actually keeps you from being distracted while you write. So you can choose certain things that you want to block. Maybe that's social media, maybe that's Instagram, Facebook, something like that. And actually when you go to those pages during designated writing time, it'll block it out and it'll say you are free from insert, whatever page that is, right? So it's kind of a nice, not so subtle reminder and way to keep yourself on track as you're writing. Now the 5th option, and this is really getting into free tools, is Google Docs. So this is an online word processor, an online software, obviously by Google, and this is personally my favorite tool of all these. This is the one that I use personally to write my book. So I use Microsoft Word to write my very first book, and then ever since then I've used Google Docs. So Google Docs is kind of a word processor just like Microsoft Word. There's a couple small differences. So it has similar pros and cons. I found that it's very easy to organize your thoughts. Now, one of the biggest pros to this software is it's online. So it's always a live doc. So if you're collaborating with a co-author, if you're collaborating with an editor, all those things, you can be in the same doc and you don't have to worry about, editing an old version of the doc or anything like that, because you're always working on the most recent and most up-to-date version. And actually this, for me personally, is really helpful because when I'm working with an editor, they don't have to be done with editing and then I'm waiting and then they send the book back. I'm actually like kind of chasing them through the doc, right? So I'm able to follow right behind them, which just speeds up the book production process. So I really like Google Docs. One of the cons of using this software is it is an online tool. So if you're it has an offline mode, but you gotta make sure that you do that the right way, because I've definitely had times where I've been on a flight and I say, hey, I'm about to write this entire flight. I forgot to enable offline mode, and now all of a sudden I couldn't write any words in the doc on the flight. So that's the con, and you're just gonna make sure that if you use Google Docs, you navigate around that. Option number 6, Evernote. So this is more of a note-taking software, so this is less specific to being a word processor or things like that. This is a really great option if you're someone who wants to take notes. So maybe you don't write your full book in this, but this can be a really good tool to either take notes, to brainstorm on your computer, on your phone. It's kind of a cool tool because it can sync between the two of those. So if you're out and about and inspiration strikes, you can add it to your Evernote, and then now you've got your Evernote file pulled up while you're writing your book. Option number 7 is Focuswriter. Now, this is really a word processor, a tool that's specific to helping you eliminate distractions while you write. So you can customize your setup, you can black things out, you can make sure that you have a focused area to write. Now, what this tool might lack in bells and whistles, so things like that you might have on Google Docs or Microsoft Word or things like that, and kind of all the extra things, it makes up for in simplicity. Because if you're one of those people who just needs a focused place to write, Focuswriter is for you, and this is another one of the free tools. Option number 8 is Fast Pencil. Now, Fast Pencil is kind of unique in the sense that there is a word processor component, but the thing that Fast Pencil does well is it really takes you end to end. So you can start by writing in the software, then you can move into finding editors, you can move into finding people to help you with the production of your book, and then you can continue on to actually publishing your book, all in this software. So it's kind of cool. So it might not be better than the certain functionality that these other tools have at specific parts of the process, but if you're just really looking for one tool that goes end to end, then this could be a good option for you. Option number 9, this is YWriter. Now, YWriter it's a pretty cool tool, and it's a free tool, but it's really impressive with how many options and just all the functionality that this has. So this is kind of similar to Scrivener in the sense that it has places for you to outline notes, for you to put things about your outline, for all those things. And this is really, really popular for people who write novels. So if you're writing fiction, you're writing a novel, you might really like YWriter. It's kind of a cool tool that's, I would say, on the rise, and it has some really awesome functionality, again, especially for a free tool. Option number 10 is the Hemingway app. Now, this is kind of a really cool writing tool. So it's less of a word processor, but the Hemingway app is a tool that helps make your writing better. So you can paste in what you're writing, and it'll give you suggestions. It'll tell you you're writing on X grade level, or it'll say this is a complicated sentence, this is confusing. It'll kind of give you suggestions for how you can make your writing better. So it's a really cool tool if you're someone who says, hey, I need to get better at writing, and you can experiment with it. I don't know if I would necessarily recommend writing your whole book in there, because if you've heard me talk about this in other videos, one of the biggest things I recommend is that you do not edit while you write. So if you have a problem with that, you might just want to paste certain parts after the fact once you get into the editing phase. Option number 11, so this is Dropbox. And again, this is more of a writing tool, not a word processor, but Dropbox is a really great tool that you can use, especially if you're using Microsoft Word or anywhere where you need to store files, so it's not like online in the cloud. Then you can use Dropbox to drop your files in there, and it's a file sharing service. So now I can share those files with my co-author, I can share those files with my editor, I can share those files with anyone I need to make sure that they have a copy of this book. So option number 12, and the final option, is Open Office. So this is kind of a cool tool. It most closely resembles Microsoft Word, meets Google Docs, and it's an open source tool. So that means a lot of different people work on it and improve it and help make this thing better, but it's an open source and free tool. So if you're looking for a free tool that can be used online and things like that, this is a really great option as well. So there you have it. Based on our research, these are the 12 best pieces of writing software. And I know I probably left some out, and I'm probably gonna hear about it in the comments, but these are the 12 that we recommend. And once again, I'd recommend that you click the link along with this video. We've created this really snazzy book writing software quiz. So you can go through that quiz and figure out what's the best book writing software customized to your needs. So definitely check out that link along with this video. And then we've got 2 other helpful resources that are gonna help you in your book writing journey. So resource number 1 is we're giving away free copies of my book called Published, The Proven Path from Blank Page to Published Author. This is kind of a 10,000-foot view of the whole process of going from blank page to published in as little as 90 days. So we're giving away free free copies of this book. All you have to do is cover shipping and handling. Click the link along with this video to get that. And then number 2, we've got a 45-minute training that you can go through that's gonna, again, help you through this process. So if you get a copy of the book, while you're waiting on that book to come to you, you can go through that training. I think you'll find that really helpful because obviously the best book writing software in the world can't write the book for you, right? So you're gonna have to do the work. And so now that you know which tool to use this training to help you in the process. So I hope that you found this video helpful and that this gets you closer to getting your book done. As always, comment below this video. Which one's your favorite? What tool's your favorite? I can imagine there's probably gonna be some heated arguments about this. So which tool's your favorite? Which ones did I miss? Comment below this video, let me know, and also click the subscribe button. So we've got a lot of really great videos coming out on how to write and publish books successfully. So click the subscribe button. We wanna make sure that you don't miss a single video. So go ahead and click that subscribe button right now, comment below, and I'll see you in the next video. Talk soon.